Good morning, everybody. How are you guys? All right, let's make sure we're live everywhere. All right. Hey, happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to Pro Singer Success Collective. I am Arden and I am your trusted guide here for all things up-leveling your singing, getting into the singing career in a way that really makes a difference for everything that you want to create. And our topic for today is really important when it comes to that target, because one of the big things that I have noticed year after year after year that sabotages otherwise talented singers is tension. And I have spoken about tension before. Tension is the enemy of the singer. But specifically today, the kind of tension that I want to discuss is tongue tension. So I'm curious if you're watching this live or if you're watching this in the replay, tell me in the chat, put tongue tension in the chat if you are somebody who knows that you experience tongue tension. So you may have tongue tension and you may not know it, and I'm going to help you with some diagnostics in this live. But you may actually also know you have tongue tension where you really feel your tongue grabbing and contracting and putting pressure in the back of your throat and on your larynx. So put tongue tension in the chat right now if you know that you have tongue tension. Now, if that is you, stick with me here because we're going to do some really cool, I'm going to show you a tool that I really like to help you to start to get rid of the tongue tension. If you are unsure, you think you might have tongue tension or you don't know, it's not something you've ever paid attention to, this is a great thing that I like to help you guys understand if you have tongue tension or not. So you're going to take your thumb and you're going to take your thumb and you're going to put it like right here under your like where, so this is the root of, you can feel the root of your tongue. If you take your thumb and you just press gently upwards and then you swallow, you can feel your tongue kind of move, right? To help move the food or saliva or whatever down. Okay, so swallow, and that's the root of your tongue that you can feel right there. Okay, so I want you to take your thumb, and I want you to put it right under here, and I want you to just gently give it a little wiggle so that you can really feel where that muscle is. And you guys, the tongue muscle is one of the biggest and strongest muscles in the body, by the way. And then what I want you to do is I want you to just, with your thumb here, I want you to sing a couple bars of a song that you do really often in your repertoire with your thumb right here. Or you could do some of your vocalises, whatever you want to do. Okay, so if I was going to do some vocalises, I might mi, me, ma. And I want you to start to notice what you feel as you're doing your repertoire, right? Whatever you're singing. Tell them how I'm defy. I need to use more support. Tell them how I'm defying gravity, whatever it is. If you're singing Mozart, and start to notice, what do you feel under your thumb? What do you feel? What do you notice? Okay. And what I want you to get present to is you might feel some vibration and or you might feel pressure on your thumb. So if you're singing, whatever you're singing, if you feel that tongue muscle pressing down on your thumb, that's tongue tension. Okay. Now we will feel the tongue, a little bit of vibration moving through the tongue, but we should not feel pressure, that downward contracted pressure that you would feel pressing on your thumb. Okay. If you feel that, then you have some tongue tension. It may or may not be showing up audibly, very obviously in the sound, but it may. If you have tongue tension, it tends to contribute to a sound that I call the Kermit the Frog type sound. You know, the sound that Kermit the Frog makes, right? Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here. If I put my hand here, it's also the Pee Wee Herman sound, right? Like if I put my thumb under there and I do the Pee Wee Herman or the Kermit the Frog sound, I really feel my tongue kind of like pressing down on my thumb. Okay. And a lot of singers don't realize the impact that this has, because they're doing it because it makes the sound inside your head sound more powerful, a little richer, maybe a little bit beefier perhaps. And so singers get into this habit to try to beef up the sound and pump up the sound so it sounds really, strong and powerful and resonant inside your head. But out here, it just ends up sounding kind of like Kermie. And the reason why this is just really detrimental over time is because when the root of the tongue is overworking, it presses down on the larynx and it can cause vocal fatigue. That pressure on your vocal cords and on the larynx causes vocal fatigue, and it can be the contributor to other vocal problems, including vocal injury, nodes, vocal hemorrhage. Those are the things that are created by anything that's creating too much pressure on the cords. So in addition to the sound not being what we want, it's also, detrimental to the health of your voice. So it's good to understand if you have tongue tension or not. So if you're putting your hand here and you're singing, ma, moo, and you feel that pressure, here's what you can start to do to play with annihilating this tension and getting the body on board that it can make a powerful, good sound without it. So first, you're going to stick your tongue out. And you're going to grab a washcloth or a tissue, and you're going to hold your tongue out. And you're going to do on kind of a neutral vowel, whatever vowel kind of comes out when your tongue is out. It's probably some version of okay? So you stick your tongue out, and you're going to engage your support, and you're going to give your tongue to your hand. So like your tongue, it's not your tongue's job to keep itself out. Your hand is like holding it out. So your tongue can be soft and relaxed because your hand is holding it. Okay. So you're going to stick your tongue out, and then you're just going to sing a simple scale. You're going okay. And you're going to notice, is your tongue fighting you? Does it want to pull back in? You'll feel it because you've got your hand on it, okay? Do not let it pull back in. Every time you feel it want to contract and go back to that tension and that over control, you have your hand on it, yank it back out, okay? You're teaching your body that you can trust your lower support and your resonance space, your anchor and your sail, and that your tongue doesn't need to help, okay? So you're gonna do that with your tongue out. Simple scales, simple arpeggios to get your body to start to trust that. Do it for a few days, and then go on and off, meaning, then let your hand go and see if your tongue will say, okay? If this is happening, and then it starts to want to pull back, you will know that your tongue doesn't trust it yet, and you need to go back to this, okay? But eventually, on and off, every other one, to get your tongue to trust and notice what you're doing when your tongue is relaxed, how the rest of your body is anchoring that sound in your support and in your resonance space, what's happening below it and what's happening above it. And then when you notice that, then let your hand go, see if your tongue will stay out while you employ these things without holding it. And then you let your tongue move back into your mouth, into normal position. But as you do the exercise, you're going to go back to the normal vowel, but you're going to think like you're moving your tongue out of your mouth. It's like, right? Like, and if you feel like it wants to pull back, don't let it. Relax and feel that feeling of that tongue softening wide and forward like it's out. Just use your imagination to set that muscle memory. So this is the progression that you can use to start to get your tongue to trust that you don't need it to strengthen or make a powerful sound. You don't need it to be your security blanket or your guardrail for your sound, that your body can do it where it's supposed to do it without the tongue getting involved. The other part of this is being able to move your tongue independently of everything else, meaning let your jaw go and see if you can do a ya. Ya, 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 ya. Ah, ya, 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 ya. Can your tongue move independently of your jaw? If you're going ya, 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 okay, now that's telling you that your jaw and your tongue are acting in tandem. They have no independent motion. They're tensing together. And now that tells you you have tongue tension, probably, and some jaw tension. So allow your jaw to be soft and see if you can move your tongue slowly by itself. Yeah, 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 without needing the jaw to go with it. It's like a little calisthenic for your tongue once you have done the and holding your tongue out exercise, okay? So those are two things that can be really, really helpful in getting rid of tongue tension, because the biggest culprit of tongue tension is actually your breath support. So the tongue tension is actually not the problem. It's actually a symptom generally of a larger problem, which is that your anchor and your sail are not the opposition you need to be in your breath support and in your resonance is not completely trustworthy, and it's not doing exactly what it needs to do to get that most efficient, powerful resonant sound. And so another part of your body, in this case your tongue, is going in to try to manage that, to try to bring more clarity, more power, more reliability. And so in holding your tongue out, what you're doing is you are forcing your body, you are getting rid of your security blanket, and you are forcing your body to use your support and use your resonance space instead of using your tongue to manage the sound and control the sound. But this kind of brings us into sort of a larger question, which is, do you know what your breath support is actually supposed to be doing? Do you know what reliable support feels like in your body and how to employ it in a way that's absolutely bulletproof, so that when you take your tongue out and you cannot engage your tongue anymore, your body actually hooks in and knows what to do instead, right? And also, there's a mindset piece of this too, which, if you guys know me, if you follow my content, you understand that like your body can't do what your brain is sabotaging. So we coach mindset here, especially with the singers in our intensive training program, because if there's a fear going on, for example, if you don't notice any tension here in the lower and middle part of your voice, but then as you get higher, you start to notice, oh, wow, my tongue is really pressing and contracting and I feel it on my thumb, right? What that's telling you is that like you're managing yourself decently, right? But there might be some fear around your high voice, some inconsistency, some old drama and trauma around high notes or hard, whatever it may be. And so your body is reacting to what's going on in your mind. It could be that somebody maybe told you that, you know, your voice, you had like a really small, light voice at some point, and you like internalized that. And you don't want that. You want powerful, resonant sound. And so you're over engaging your tongue to try to beef up that sound, right? I could give you the best tongue tension exercises in the world, and it won't matter if that is still working you, because something has convinced you that your own beautiful, God-given organic sound is less than. And unless we work on that piece, you will continue to grab here, even though you understand how not to, okay? So this is the triad of how we coach, of how I coach, of my method, which is skill set, artistry, and mindset. And you need all three. And so while I really want you to use these tools that I'm giving you today to start to understand what's going on, if you have tongue tension, a progression that you can use to start to address it and fix it. If you're noticing that there are larger issues at play here, then get on my call calendar, because if you're a serious singer who is, despite all of the things that you are doing, you are practicing, you are studying, you have trained, you are putting yourself out there for auditions and recordings, and you're just not seeing the results of all of that in the form of the high level career that you really want with your singing, it means that there's things you don't know that you don't know, and that there are weak parts of this tripod, skill set, mindset, artistry, that not all three things are working equally as strong as they could be. And nobody has coached you on anything else. You don't know what you don't know. And unfortunately, you have been the casualty of the old traditional training system, and it's not your fault. But I'm here standing on the rooftops trying to change that, so that you understand exactly what you need to do in each of these three areas: mindset, artistry, and skill set, to be able to break through to those high-level elite opportunities that you want with your singing. So addressing tension is not actually the problem. It's the symptom of the larger problem, which is that your tripod is not rock solid. And if you're a serious singer who has, understood all these things and still it's just not showing up the way you want in the moment that counts to get you those higher level gigs, hundreds of thousands of plays on your records, getting into the callbacks and nailing the roles that you want, you need to get on my call calendar. So I'm putting the link into the chat. If you're watching here on Facebook, I'm putting it into the chat to get on my call calendar. If you're watching on YouTube, whoops, where did that just go? If you're watching on YouTube, sorry, I can do one thing at a time. If you're watching on YouTube, because I'm copying this link, the link to get on my call calendar is in the video description, but here it is, putting it into the comments for those of you watching on Facebook right now. Reach out to me. Kat Genzer, hello. And Kylie, hello. I see you guys. For some reason, your comments just showed up. It's good to see you guys. I don't know if you're still watching. I hope you are. But these are the kinds of things, guys, that only an expert like me, who has 25 years of experience saving singers' voices, being a professional in my own career, having been through so much, seen so much, fixed so many problems in my own voice, in other people's voices, this is super targeted stuff that can be fixed. And when we do that, then all of a sudden the gates open and things become available to you in terms of what you're breaking through to in your career that never were before. So if you're resonating with this, if you think you have tongue tension, if you're not sure, if you're recognizing other tensions, neck tension, jaw tension, it's the same thing. Those are not the problems. They're the symptoms of the fact that the entire efficiency of the instrument, mind and body, is not completely bulletproof yet. These are the things that we address in the intensive training program. So don't be shy. If you've been watching my lives and you're like, oh, maybe I want to talk to Arden, I don't know. You guys don't be shy, okay? We're going to get on the call. We're going to talk for about 20 minutes, half an hour. We're going to talk about what's working, what's not working, where you are with your singing, where you want to go, the gap between where you are and where you want to go. And I will explain to you the step-by-step of how we take our singers through this process to be able to fix these issues that have been plaguing them for a long time so that they can break through to that next level of not just singing, but of impact. And when you break through to that next level of impact, now you're booking roles, now your recordings get plays, now you're playing festivals, you're booking gigs because you know how to make that kind of impact regularly. That's what we're doing here with you as your guide. So we'll talk about it and I'll share with you that process. And if it feels like a fit, amazing. I'll show you what that looks like. And if it's not, that's okay too. We can part friends and I will still love on you in this group. But you guys, this call though is for serious singers who are ready now, not 3 months from now or 10 years from now, but ready now to make that change and really bust through the things that have been stopping you. This is not for new singers who have never studied before and who are I think maybe I want to get into singing. I love singing, great. You can follow my content, but this call is not for you. This is for you if you have been putting yourself out there and you have been recording and, maybe you don't have high level training yet, but you are in the hustle, you are recording, you are auditioning, you are doing the things, right? These are the singers who are ready to get on a call with me and talk about what is the next step for you? Why are you not making that impact? What is the gap between where you are and where you want to go? And then I'll explain to you how we get there. And if it's a fit to work together, great. And if it's not, like I said, it's okay. But don't be shy, okay? Don't let another week pass. God forbid another month or year pass with these same frustrations where you're watching other singers up there on that stage and you're watching them and you're like, that should be me. Don't let another week go by. Reach out to me and let's have a talk. All right, you guys. So the link to book a call if you're watching on Facebook is in the chat. The link on YouTube is in the post copy. Have an amazing rest of your week. tell me in the comments what you notice, how it's going, if you notice some of this tension going on, if you need more support to understand how the rest of your body is not really helping you in this, or you want to talk more about the specifics, like let me know in the chat and I will respond. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Bye, everybody.